Hey guys, how are you? Welcome to the Pure Motivation Podcast Show, where I bring you the 5 M's of high performance lifestyles: mindset, mission, muscle, macros, and your marriage. Today, we're here with 2 special guests, 2 of our members at Pure Motivation Fitness, and we're here to talk about how fitness, how nutrition in a community has changed not only these 2 guys' lives, but their wife and their other child, and how hopefully they can give you some tips and some education on how it can change yours. Thank you so much for coming on board. Awesome. We have Saravanan today and his son Rohit. So before we begin, I want you kind of to give me a little bit of an example of what life was like before you came to Pure Motivation Fitness. Because I know that when I met you, first I met your wife, Ramya. She came in here, she decided to join. She mentioned to me how crazy your schedule is. And then when I met you, I'm like, wow, this guy actually is going to begin, even though he's got this crazy schedule. Give us a little bit of background about yourself.
Yep. So, we have been in Canada for about 5 years now. Life has always been crazy. This is my 10th country. The last 10 years.
Wow.
So a lot of hopping around, a lot of different food, and a lot of different time zones.
And is it because you just like traveling, or is it because of work? Or?
Because of work.
Got it.
So it took us places that, we never really had a set place for us to go after fitness as a main goal. Even though it was always in our thoughts that we want to go and live a life that's balanced, we never were able to fulfill until, we came to Canada, and then COVID hit. So things went for a downward spiral, there is no active
So
life.
when you came to Canada, you came for like a year before and then COVID kicked in, or?
Yep, just a year before COVID kicked in and 2 years of lockdown. We couldn't really, have an active lifestyle that we thought we could finally start in a country where we are not traveling a lot.
So were you in the US before? Were you in India? Where were you working?
Okay, so I was immediately before Canada, I was in Sri Lanka for a couple of years, and then Malaysia prior to that. So yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So this is an amazing, I had no clue about this. I'm just learning about this right now. And why I'm really excited to have this guy talk here is because traveling into so many 10 different countries means that not only is your mind's got to be into work and you got to be there, but it's also a challenge and stress for the kids and for your wife and the schooling and then eating and then lifestyle and moving to here, boxes, homes, resetting, and that gets in the way of fitness.
Absolutely.
So you're saying before you guys did you have any background in fitness?
On and off, yes. In Sri Lanka, we started this journey, and we were on, we used to go to the gym downstairs within the same condo building that we were in Sri Lanka. But then the part that we were lacking is, we were always getting injured. We didn't get the right sort of coaching on how to do, approach fitness as a package, right? And then after COVID, we went on a, kind of a deficit diet spree, and then we dropped weight a lot, but then we were again getting injured a lot. Even small activities, we were getting injured. So that is when we realized we are taking different tracks.
Yeah, you're doing it on your own.
Yeah, it's not something that's sustainable, and the energy levels were clearly dropping, and that's why my wife saw, Pure Motivation. It's just live across the street. We knew we had to come and talk to you.
Got it. Okay, so then give me a background about what was the spark, what was the motivation, what was okay, today I'm going to go do this. I know that your wife came in first. What was that line that was drawn either for her or for you?
See, I would say it was both. For me, I was just trying to lift an object. I was trying to set up a garaging during COVID, and again, like I've said before, it's not properly balanced. Right. So we were getting injured every other week in some shape or form, and we had to stop working out for a few days. Mm-hmm. So repeatedly getting injured, not being the kind of energy levels that we want to be with the family. We've been talking about it for a while. My daughter goes to daycare, not couple of in the same plaza. So then we thought, okay, let's go and at least have a conversation. Maybe you could start first. Me and my wife were talking, and that's how things started. It's just no matter what we do, it just wasn't right in terms of the goal that we have defined for ourselves, which is to lead a high energy, a fit life, and so that we can be an example to our kids, right? So that's
it's important. And I heard the word injured a few times, which is so important because a lot of people, when they want to get into a fitness program, they just jump into it and they think, work out a lot, do cardio every day, lift weights. You lift weights the wrong way, you can get hurt. If you're training with your wife or your son, that can get hurt. Okay, so then we met your wife, she came on board. What was nice was she was just ready to go. Like she was just, I had enough, I want to do this, I want to get started. What was it about the club or about the process that made you not only decide to join with yourself, but you also had your son come in to do kids fitness, which was amazing.
Right.
And he was one of the most active kids, right? What was it that made you say, okay, you know what, I'm going to invest into this?
Right, okay. So for me, the most important reason was the balance. So by that, what I mean is it's not just the, coming in, slab weights, but the kind of attention we got in terms of, you mentioned about macros at the beginning, right? So what do we eat? Like, how do we balance? How do we prepare food? So it's the whole 9 yards when it comes to preparing food, what you eat, track it, work out not just for one, muscle a day. It's kind of a holistic package.
Yeah.
And then the right community, everybody here is supportive. So when I looked at it, we were starting to see results as early as month 1 in terms of how we felt and, whatever gains we were able to observe. So, that made us, kind of decide there is no time to, start a good thing, and which is why Rohit is here.
He was one of the strongest guys. I know you guys are moving back again.
Yeah.
When we first met you guys, I was telling your wife about the body type philosophy. She's like, wow, I've never heard about this. Yep. Did that make any impact, or did it help you out in terms of kind of understanding your body and nutrition? And if so, tell us how.
No, absolutely. I mean, you always think, right? So you got to reduce weight to be, energetic and, feel fit and confident. One thing that I got right out of the first class is when you said, for your height, what you are is good, right? Focus on building muscle and eliminating fat. It's just a different dimension to how we thought about fitness.
I remember you wanted to lose a lot of weight.
Yes.
Like, no, bro, you got size on you. We got to keep that.
Yes. So that was totally different, the way you approached fitness. And then we trusted in it and we went on this journey. And if I were to take this decision 10 times over, I would do the same thing. And there's nothing that
nice.
Yeah.
So in your process here, I know your wife's done really, really well. It's been about 8 months.
Yep.
And you told me you started off at 224, now you're at 204, so 20 pounds dropping. Body fat percentage 29 to 22%. So that's a good 7% of body fat reduction. And I keep telling people that losing weight is one thing, but losing body fat percentage is more important. Because if you lose too much weight, you'll be under muscled and sometimes you break down into that. Give me an example now, when you were training before, how different was it from our cross training program? Because I know that it's really, really different from when you first started.
Right. So for me, the most important thing was when I was training by myself, I never knew this concept of full body training and eating right? So, and I'm traveling a lot. So you start always with your favorite, workouts. You go for your chest, you go for your
chest and biceps, bro.
And then third day you're traveling. Right. You're gone for 4 days. You come back and you redo the same thing again.
Right. So you're missing body parts.
Most of your body is neglected, right? And then you're not eating right when you travel. So you're always, a little bulky. There's no definition showing up, and whatever gains you've gotten, you've lost it, and you always are in the catch-up mode. And again, because of the reasons I mentioned, you're getting injured as well.
Right.
You're just retraining, certain set of muscles.
Overtraining, same things.
Yeah. So I think that is the main difference for me here. Whole body training at the beginning, yes, it was a bit tough because it's supposed to be you're training some of the muscles for the first time to the intensity that it requires. But as we moved along in the program, you get more confident because you're now able to support whatever is thrown at you, right? And with the support of the community, like everybody who comes to the group class, I think that's the cherry on top, and we were able to keep pushing ourselves to wherever we have managed to reach today.
How has the gym and the studio and the support and the lifestyle here, how has that trickled off into your life with the little ones?
Okay. So, I mean, earlier it's just, you're not talking about macros, you're not talking about, meal planning, and these sort of things, right? So nowadays, we are more conscious about, proteins versus healthy fats versus whatnot. So, it becomes a part of life. The more you're, focused on something to get the gains you want in the gym, and you are attuned to, making that happen, and then your kids follow it by default because what you do, they see and they want to get better too. And after Rohit started here, I mean, he's very conscious about what he eats, and even though he understands certain foods are delicious, he knows that he has to strike the right balance between fun and balance in life, and that to me is something I didn't think would happen in such a short frame of time. Kid. Yeah, exactly.
What about you, buddy? Tell me what you liked about the kids' fitness program.
There are a lot of people to play with, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And the coaches, they helped me improve through a lot of things, like my push-ups and lunges.
Yeah, I remember when I taught you one time too, I was just forcing him to do a proper push-up, lower, and we finally got it in. And did you feel that it was something that helped you out in school as well? Like, do you feel that you had more energy when you did sports at school or anything like that?
I did. Like a little more energy, and I was able to run more.
Nice. And what I like about this, guys, is I'm always talking about men over 40, and I'm talking about role models, and I'm talking about being strong, not just for you. Like, yes, I do this for me. And if someone had to say to me, if you had to keep training, Dimitri, you had to pick one reason why, what would it be? And it's for me. Because I want, if I make myself stronger, and if I make myself a more dedicated dad, I can build the Dimitri 2.0 version to help out my wife, to be a better husband, and to be a better father. So I think this trickles down into your family. What were some of the things that you were either worried about before you joined? Because some people watching are like, hey, you know what? I live in the area, and I've seen these guys, and I've seen these guys on social media, but it looks like a high-end fancy club, or, I know they charge a little bit more, but they got personal training. Well, when you first started, did you feel that it was something that was too much for you to handle, or?
See, when we first, came and met you and started thinking about this journey, the single most, factor that, we think inward, right? So I was worried about getting injured again. Mm-hmm. And then, I'm traveling a lot, and it's a high demanding job. So I didn't want my professional life to be disturbed by, any way, what I'm trying to do on the sites.
Right.
But, one week in, then, that fear goes away. I mean, it's just getting used to, the additional stream and getting to meet people and what it gives to you in return. 1 week, 1 month, and then, then you're all, focused on outcome. You're not worried about the fears you had before walking into something new and a new lifestyle, right? So for me, yes, injury part, because that's one common denominator of all my fitness pursuits in the last, I would say, 18 years. So this is the, I would say 8-9 months of my entire life of, fitness that I've never been injured.
Nice. And you lift heavy duty classes.
Correct. Yes. So
compound movements, kettlebell swings, all kinds of stuff like that.
Correct. Yes. Tried a lot of things that I've never done before, like, not usual sets, right? So in spite of all of that, after a month, all I was worried about is gains. How can I do more? How can I increase my reps? How can I do more sets within the class? And that to me is a change of mindset. With getting the fundamentals correct, how you eat, and an injury-free, properly coached fitness experience, right? That's what I would
love how you're stressing that, because so many people forget that, and they just think that joining a gym is about going to get weight loss, but you're going to learn how to train properly, and this you can keep forever. You're moving now, right? Tell us about why you're moving, because we're sad. We're going to lose these guys, and they're great people, and we're still going to keep in touch with you, but tell us what happened. All of a sudden, you got a spring of information.
Right. So, I mean, like I said, 10 countries, now it's going to be another country. So we are moving to the US for work again. It's a transfer. For 3 years, we're moving to Kansas. Unfortunately, the journey has to be paused. And we hope to, carry some of the good habits you have.
Yeah, I think you definitely will. How do you help out the guys out there who are watching now, who are like, well, yeah, I'm a dad, I got 2 kids, but I travel. How the hell did he do it? How did you keep it part of your lifestyle when you go away? Because everyone's like, well, I'm traveling, so I can't work out, but there's a gym in the hotel. How did you do it?
Right. So, I mean, same thought process. Haven't worked out after COVID. It's been 2-3 years. So it's always the first step, and the first couple of weeks, that's always the toughest. But once you get past that initial hurdle, like Dimitri always says, attitude is everything. Believe in yourself, take the first step. If you over 40 and you got a family, there is no better companion than your spouse. Join together, get into the group classes, get into coaching, so that you get the best advice in terms of how you eat, how you approach life. In 1 week, the amount of energy you feel and how you approach anything in life, not just talking about how you feel as a person, but how you talk to others, how you approach your profession. I observed a fundamental change in myself, and that trickles, everywhere. And that is success to me, right?
You're in sales, man, so you got to be confident.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
We meet a lot of people who come in here and they're like, you know what, I'm a realtor, I'm a salesperson. And although they're successful at what they're doing, they don't really have that confidence to stand up in front of 100 people and just speak and be proud. Because people recognize when you're fit and you're not.
Right.
And I'm not here to point fingers, but if you're watching this and you're 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds overweight, you know that when you go out in public, you feel those eyes looking at you, and you can feel people that are staring you down. And especially if you're a guy, I know women have enough issues on their own to deal with, but with men are competitive, and the men are going to be looking at you, and you want to be able to look and stand tall and be confident, to walk over and shake someone's hand, and you want them to be like, man, you look pretty fit. Like, do you work out? And you want to say, yes, I work out. I work out 4 or 5 times a week. And then their next response is, well, how do you make time? And then someone like him will be like, well, it's time management. I book it in my schedule. I hire a coach. I learn from a specific club, and I go from there. Give me a little bit of background on you and maybe your interaction with the MyZone heart rate monitor that we use in the gym, or with the in-body scanner. We use those. That is the change in core identity. That is him being confident now. That is him being able to say to people, yeah, man, I'm going to wear a tight shirt. I'm going to go to the beach. I'm not going to hide behind a big, loose, baggy t-shirt. I'm not going to sit in the corner when my kids are playing on the beach or they're running at the park, and I'm just going to sit there being that overweight dad that's not going to change his lifestyle. So that's amazing. What's your next goals? I know you're going to be leaving. When you leave here?
We are leaving next Thursday.
Next Thursday, they're going on a plane. They're going to start a brand new lifestyle. What's the goals for your fitness now? What do you want to keep working on so I can keep you accountable?
So yeah, I mean, like, you all start by saying, I want a six pack. I want to be able to, even after 40, I want to lead a lifestyle that's well balanced, high energy. Yeah. So that's something you can all learn from him. So those are some of the fundamental goals that I have. Keep the body fat percentage low. Somehow try and come towards that 17 to 18 that you spoke about when we first met.
You're at 22 now, so it's easy to drop down another 2%. Just time.
Right.
It's only been 8 months, you're down 7%. So another, 4 or 5 months, you should be down another 1, 2 easy.
Yeah. We probably would start a temporary membership wherever we are going and to continue the journey that you've set us on.
Yeah, I'm
And-
going to
and
be setting you
hope-
guys up with my app when you're gone, so you guys can know what to follow on.
Absolutely.
That way I can still keep tabs on them. Any final words of advice you want to give to, I know there's going to be men and women watching because we've got, different people watching from the club, but majority of the men that I work with, one person in the previous podcast mentioned that ego really gets in the way of a lot of guys and having them start. And it breaks my heart to know that as a dad, because I come from a dysfunctional family, and if it wasn't for the coaches in my life, from a young boy, like how old are you now?
10.
10. When I was 10 years old, my first coaches were my swim coaches. They really compounded on my confidence. And now it's at a point where it's like life can never go back to where it is. What advice are you going to give the guys watching right now? Because there's somebody watching right now that's overweight, not happy, maybe having trauma from childhood. Maybe they're overworked. Maybe their marriage is failing, brother, because they're always arguing and they don't have that bond that you and your wife have, that you guys share, the balance. What can you give that guy some tips? 1 or 2 tips that they can take and they can just take action right away.
Right. I mean, I'll go to the fundamentals, right? Be selfish. I mean, no matter what you're going through, one fundamental thing is you want to look good. You got to, own, what you have and get better. That is not changing, irrespective if you're a husband, you're a father, you're an extremely busy professional. You want to do right by what you are and what you want to
be selfish.
Right? So,
Beautiful. Bodybuilders live by that.
Yes.
That's the first thing.
Yeah. So always, then if you are in that zone, take the first step. When you walk into a gym, it's a new setup. The place is new. The people are new. It's easy to get intimidated by, all the, fit people around. But believe me, once you come in, they're all friendly. And then they want you to be on a journey where you can get to your goals as quickly as possible. That's their goal. If you don't succeed, Dimitri doesn't succeed. So
Yeah.
I saw that in every interaction we had. It was never, everybody has their own journey. You are never,
Statistic.
Yeah.
No one's a transaction here.
Correct. So it's not like, all 5 people in the class have to look exactly the same or doing the same sets and repetitions. You got your own journey and that is respected inside these walls, and that's what I loved about it, right? So no matter which part of the fitness journey you're on, you have a goal that you can define along with the people here, and they really care about how do you go about the journey and how you hit those milestones. Goes back to him talking about getting things measured. And with all of those steps, you can hit the outcome you want and really be who you want to be, right? So I if you have asked me about this place 6-7 months ago, I'm not sure if I would have volunteered to come and talk to you guys about this. But looking back, 8 months, I would advise or I would suggest each and every one of you thinking about making that move. It's free anyway for the first week or 2.
Yeah, man.
I think
We're confident to show people what we do here.
Absolutely. So take that step, and I guarantee you, unless you're relocating, 100% of everybody who takes that first step would want to go all the way and achieve everything you want in terms of your fitness journey. That's what I realized with Dimitri, and I would suggest each and every one of you to do the same.
Nice, bro. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks, brother. Thanks for coming by. Guys, as always, one, if you can share this with anybody you know that needs the help or needs the motivation, it'd be great. Leave us a comment. We want to know what you think. And we also want to know what kind of videos you want me to produce in the future. And if you live in the Vaughan area, you're new to fitness, or you're super athletic, or you're in the middle and you want to change, message us. We're happy to give you a complimentary trial to come try us out. Or if you're a busy guy like this guy, and especially if you're traveling, if you have a high pressure job, if you're not in one state all the time, there's ways that we can help you out with our online coaching program, especially for men over 40 with their families, to not only help you, and I love what he said, be selfish, not only help you become the best for you, but you got kids, you got role models, you got peers at your work, you got employees, you got people in your community, your family that's going to watch you. When this guy's family is going to speak to him in the next 2-3 months, and they're like, hey, look what happened to you. You look great. You look amazing. You're going to motivate them. That's it for today. See you on the next podcast. And remember, average is the enemy. Your attitude is everything. And you can change your lifestyle in an instant. Peace and bye for now.
Peace.